Oh, I haven't asked for it. I mean, I don't have to have it. If you want to go either one. Okay. All right. I thought. Oh, so I do it. Yeah, I mean that's gonna be fine. Quite festive. I enough so that the boots comes down with it. So over high the hair. We get it. So nice. He's got a lathe, so it's. I don't know. Just so you can fit in the I was thinking, I got those. I looked those pipes, and they got those. 7 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. Roll call by the county clerk. Oh, I forgot my tab. Roll call. Oh, I do. But it's not. Mary's here.
All right.
Mark me here.
I will mark you here. We have 25 present and 5 absent.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Winnicky, could you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Take a moment. Thank you very much. We're in compliance with open meetings law, Mr. Lucky?
We are, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda with one small change. If you go to item 14 under Planning and Zoning Committee, items B and C need to be switched around. We have to amend the comprehensive plan before we can amend the zoning. So just switch those two. Okay. With that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda with item 14 change.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Degner, second by Mr. Backlund. Any questions, discussions? Otherwise, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the agenda is approved. Approval of the June 10th meeting minutes. Mr. Winnicky.
I would move approval of the June 10th, 2025 minute meetings with the exception at the very top of the minutes. It indicates Chair Steve Nass presiding. He was gone, so it was me.
I was drinking Brandy Manhattan in the Sawtooth Mountains.
And I will move approval of that.
The Brandy Manhattans?
Yeah.
Not a confession.
Do I have who seconded it? Second by Mr. Jaco. Questions, discussion? Anybody else find any changes? Otherwise, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. Communications.
We have the notice of public hearing for planning and zoning, which is at 7 p.m. on July 17th, 2025. We have 5 retirement recognitions, and then you should also have your treasurer's monthly report. For the retirement recognitions, we have 5 county employees that are totaling over 149 hours of service. Years, I'm sorry, 149 years, yeah, hours. Yeah. years of service. The first one we have that couldn't be here is Susan Hone from Human Services, who worked at the Leader House as a crisis stabilization worker. She was there for over 26 and a half years. And then the next one we have that wasn't able to be here is Tammy Tomzak, who worked for the Child Support Office as a lead child support specialist. She was here for over 35 years. And then we have 3 retirees from the Sheriff's Department that Sheriff Mays is going to come up and say a few words for.
First retiree that I'd like to recognize is Todd Lindert. Todd, can you come on up here, please? So Todd Linder was with us for just over 22 years, total 37 years in law enforcement. And a lot of you might not have ever met Todd before, or even what I want to say, were introduced to him. And it wasn't because he wasn't a key figure at our agency. It's because he was the guy behind the scenes. And he liked to be behind the scenes. And he's the one that makes everything work for us. So our IT, we didn't have an IT individual that's specifically assigned to the sheriff's office. So Todd took on a lot of those roles for us. Our radio system, I don't know how this thing works at all. He does. I'm glad that we have him so that he can make sure that we can communicate and we can serve the citizens as best we possibly can. So it was a great loss when Todd left. I thought that he was going to be a little more broken up about it, but I did see his car in the parking lot. It says retired just so. He changed the plate right away. So
Showed up the day I retired.
okay, well, congratulations to you. So, but thank you very much, Todd. Appreciate it. And if you got any words for that, so thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'll make this quick. I've enjoyed working with this county board for as long as I've been here. I've been to a lot of meetings, law enforcement committee especially. You guys are great. You said yes to a lot of my boneheaded ideas. I appreciate that. We made them all work. And then I've been a lot of county board meetings with Sheriff Milbrath, former Milbrath, and him and I have spent a lot of time here. And you had good questions, very good questions. You guys are very knowledgeable. You're very good at what you look at, all the notes you look over, and you guys are good. It's been a great pleasure working with every one of you. Thank you.
Yeah, hey, you see the pair.
Oh, out there,
Yeah, okay. Retired Deputy Paul Schultz and recently rehired part-time Deputy Paul Schultz. Come on up here, please. So Paul's with us for just under 29 years. And what you're going to hear in my annual report later on is that I have an interesting way of being able to count 75 days because that's what the WRS tells me that I have to do. And on day like 76, 77, I reach out to some of our retirees and ask them if they would be willing to come back and help us out. So Paul said day 80, where do I sign the paperwork? And I'll come on back. But Paul spent the majority of his career down in the jail for us. He was support services for 5 years?
It's like 6 or 7.
A little bit more.
I see most of you here for most of the county boards.
So he helped us out quite a bit with our electronic monitoring. So one of the things that the county wants to do in the future is utilize the sheriff's office electronic monitoring and the sober tracking that we have. So Paul is our resident expert on that, and we asked if he'd come on back, and he said yes. So I greatly appreciate you having him back, and you're not bored in retirement, are you?
Nope. My wife's very happy to have me out of the house, so we'll be fine that way. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Last but not least, retired Chief Deputy Don Hunter. So Don was with us just over 34 years in 1 month. If it would have been 34 years and about 2.5, 3 months, he would have been the last 300 series number that we had to retire. But he showed his cards a little bit too soon, and Scott Goodrich retired after him. But you okay with that still?
Yeah.
You're good. So, Don's been a huge asset for us at the agency. He spent the majority of his career in the detective division. Was very keen on evidence collection and custody of evidence and the integrity of it. So that was one of the things that you really focused on, and I greatly appreciate it. He and I worked together as detectives for 8.5 years, and then we were sergeants for a period of time, and then captains. And then he got promoted to chief deputy. I didn't.
You want
And-
bigger plans.
And I think we're like 45 or 50 days out to 75, so maybe we can tweak it too.
Dan,
So
Dan, would you go with the dirty water thing for the
appreciate it.
cleaner?
So I'll try to keep this under 25 minutes because that's what I was told that I would have. But no kidding aside, 34 years goes by exceptionally fast. I'm grateful for all of the opportunities that I had and the responsibilities that I was entrusted with under Sheriffs Kwame Milbrath and Sheriff Mays. Your sheriff's office is in excellent shape. We are poised for the future, and there's nowhere to go but forward. And your leadership team that's in place now is the team that's going to keep us going in that direction. So over the years, for the county board members, thank you for your support for your sheriff's office. We got to have it. So thank you very much. It's gone by exceptionally fast.
Thank you to you all. It's a great deal of experience here. And treasurer's report, you mentioned that already? Okay. Public comment? No public comment, but I'd like to just take just a second to recognize a person in the room, our former county board supervisor, now Assemblywoman Joan Fitzgerald. Welcome back for an evening.
Thank you. You guys just can't get rid of me.
You don't get enough sitting behind the desk over there, huh?
No, I needed another meeting.
Thank you. Thank you
guys
for
are
being
nice.
here. All right, takes us to special order of business. Proclamation congratulating Cambridge High School boys track team on their WIA Division III 800 relay at the state track and field championships.
Proclamation number 2. This is congratulating the Cambridge High School boys track team on their WIAA Division III 800 relay at the state track meet and field championship. Whereas the Cambridge High School boys track team won the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association Division III State Track Championship on June 6, 2025 to June 7, 2025. And whereas the Cambridge High School boys track team won the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association Division III State Track Championship for the 800 relay with a championship winning time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 18 seconds. And
1 minute.
I'm sorry, 1 minute, 30 seconds, 34.
1 hour was last place.
That was a really slow run. And whereas the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors supports achievement in athletics and extracurricular activities, as well as academic achievement among the county's youth, now therefore be it proclaimed that the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors assembled this 8th day of July 2025 extends its hearty congratulations to the Cambridge High School boys track team, coaches, parents, staff, students, and fans for their WIA State Track Championship, and wishes them success and good health in their future athletic and academic
All in favor of this proclamation, say aye. Oh, I need motion. Motion by,
And I move to accept this proclamation.
second by Supervisor Lund. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. We'll go on to this item B. Congratulations to Johnson's Creek High School boys baseball team on their WIA Division IV State Baseball Championship on June 19, 2025. Supervisor Tracy.
Yes, proclamation number 3. Congratulations to Johnson Creek High School varsity boys baseball team on their WIAA Division IV State Baseball Championship. Whereas the Johnson Creek High School Varsity Boys Baseball Team won the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association Division IV State Baseball Championship on June 19th, 2025, and whereas the Johnson Creek High School Varsity Boys Baseball Team won the Interscholastic Athletic Association Division IV State Baseball Championship against the Stevens Point Pacelli team 5-0, and whereas the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors supports achievement in athletics and extracurricular activities as well as academic achievement among the county's youth. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors assembled this 8th day of July 2025 extends their hearty congratulations to the Johnson Creek High School Varsity Boys Baseball Team, coaches, parents, staff, students, and fans of their WIAA Division IV State Baseball Championship and wishes them success and good health in the future athletic and academic pursuits. I move that this proclamation be accepted.
Second.
Second by Supervisor Lund, moved by Supervisor Tracy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Takes us to item C, proclamation congratulating the University of Wisconsin Whitewater baseball team on their NCAA Division III College World Series Championship. Supervisor Gulick.
Thank you. Proclamation 2025-4. Congratulating the University of Wisconsin Whitewater baseball team on their NCAA Division III College World Series Championship. Whereas the Warhawks, University of Wisconsin Whitewater baseball team, won the NCAA Division III World Series on Wednesday, June 4th, 2025, to sweep a best-of-3 final series. And whereas the Warhawks, the University of Wisconsin Whitewater baseball team, scored double-digit runs in 4 of their 5 NCAA college, Division III College World Series games and set a record by scoring 74 runs during the tournament. And whereas the Warhawks, University of Wisconsin Whitewater baseball team, won their 3rd ever national title, the first 2 being in 2005 and 2014, ended its season by winning 49 games, a program record. And whereas the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors supports achievement in athletics and extracurricular activities as well as academic achievement among the county's youth, now therefore it be proclaimed that the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors assembled this 8th day of July 2025 extends its hearty congratulations to Warhawks, University of Wisconsin Whitewater baseball team, coaches, parents, staff, students, and fans for their NCAA Division III College World Series Championship and wishes them success and good health in their future academic and athletic pursuits. I move approval of this proclamation.
Second.
Moved by Supervisor Gulick, second by Supervisor Lindell. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, the proclamation passes. Takes us to item D, public hearing on a map amendment to the Jefferson County Comprehensive Plan and Farmland Preservation Plan. So the public hearing is open if anybody would like to comment on this update to the amendment or to the comprehensive plan, this amendment to the comprehensive plan. Calling once, calling twice. Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
So moved by Supervisor Jacobs, second by Supervisor Backlund. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Oppose.
One opposed. Okay, the hearing is closed. All right, takes us to item 9, annual reports. Presiding Judge Deering.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, good evening. I'm here to report that the state of the courthouse and the court services is good. You all have my report. I won't belabor that here. I'll just focus on a couple of things. One is that our numbers and efficiency in 2024 were very, very good, especially district-wide and even statewide. It's going to be a challenge to continue those numbers as we've been down a commissioner for all of this calendar year. We're hoping to fill that position soon. After all, it's it's a challenge when you go down from 6 to 5. I think anybody can appreciate that math. It's not like in Dane County or some other bigger county where you go from 25 magistrates down to 24, and you can more easily absorb that. So we're putting all of our technology and efforts to use, and we'll persevere through this as well. And I thank you again, as I did in my report, for your continued support of the courts. It feels really good for you to feel like you have our backs, and you do. We've been enjoying the substantial investment you made in the renovations, and it is great to have the highest level of technology and services for the public. So thank you again for that.
Any questions for Judge Deering?
Yes, I have one question.
Mr. Gross.
Maybe someone else on the list here can answer this question better than you can. Most complaints that I've gotten from different people in the county is the family court situation. Is it just a general?
When you say that, do you mean waiting for a hearing, or how exactly do you mean?
Just the whole situation and how it's stretched over, a long period of time.
Well, Commissioner Weber is about to come up, and
Maybe she can answer.
I think she could give a better answer than I could, but
Great, thank you.
It wouldn't surprise me that there's some dissatisfaction when you have one person doing the work that 3 used to do. And that I'll let her expand upon that, but thank you for the question.
Any other questions for Judge Deering? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Next, we have Court Support Services, Commissioner Jennifer Weber.
He's taller than I am, sorry. Good evening, everyone. So I am Court Support Services. If you recall, if you're new to the board, the Court Support Services was generated and created by the county board officially in 2024. What that did for the county is it created this efficiency, and it took 2 or 3 offices and blended them into one. So we were 3 magistrates at one point, which included our register and probate, and it blended into one, into one department with 2 commissioners. We went down a commissioner late last year. We're working on getting that resolved. A lot of the difficulty in that is when you try to pull somebody with experience out of the private world, I'm asking them to take a pay cut in half. So I can't get that individual. I'm saying, they're making several $100,000s a year in private practice, so it makes it a little difficult to financially make this a nice position. So we're down. Yes, to answer your question, I don't know who, I think you said it. I couldn't see in the back. We have a little bit of lag with having that commissioner down. We're going from 30 days where I was hitting every statutory mark to I would have to keep this building open till 7 o'clock to hit all of those marks. I'm trying the best I can. The judges are helping. I'm pushing stuff off. Can you guys cram any more into your calendars? And we need that second position, and I'm hoping to have that filled within the next 30 days. So we have a great candidate on board, just tying up some loose ends, and hopefully we will have somebody on board. What that means when we talk about the timelines and whether or not we could go down a magistrate permanently, the answer to that is the community is going to suffer. We will not hit the statutory marks. What that means, just hypothetically on a criminal basis, we will have people charged with crimes who will not have seen a judge and be placed on bail or bond for 30 to 60 days. We have landlords out there who will not get their eviction hearings within their 20 days as required by the statute. So it's going to take it, and it's going to make it a little bit longer. So we're trying to shorten it up. We're doing the best we can. For example, today, I had 20 minutes in between hearings. That was to go to the bathroom for the first time today and eat lunch. and I'm going strong. So I'm doing the best I can. I ask for all of your support. But when you go 3-1, it just makes it a little more difficult. So I'm not here to give you my sob story. I'm doing the best I can, and I'm doing it well. And I am still managing in our department in the Family Court Services the best numbers in our district. I am top in the state, top 5 in the state. So I just ask for a little bit more patience, and hopefully those complaints from the community regarding timing of hearings will go down. As you see, from my board report in 2024, the Commissioner's Office held over 5,600 hearings. Where we're having also a lot of bit of time is our limited English proficiency parties. Those take double the amount of time, and those hearings increased in 2024. It had an increase of over 150%. So we had almost 2,000 hearings in 2024 that required interpreters of some sort. So that also affects the timing of things with the need of interpreters. We're finally, hopefully, getting some relief from the state with some reimbursement for interpreters. That has been an issue, but we have yet to see that come to fruition. As far as the revenues go, now I'm going to get into the good news. The revenues are up for our department since we took over. We were able to hire a full-time bookkeeper, and revenues increased. I think when I stood up here last year, I expected at least a 35% increase in revenues. We're up over 50%. So that is by condensing a few things, making that efficient and putting our resources where we are doing very, very well in that regard. I also manage the Family Court Services, which is mediation and custody studies. That is going very well. Everybody has hit their marks on their deadlines. And then most importantly, who I want to thank tonight is all of our assistants. Through the court system, even though we're a different branch of government, 95% of the court system is funded by the county. The only thing not funded by the county are the judges and the court reporters. Everything else is funded by the county. And I appreciate your support, the executive branch's support, and to make that all work, and then our assistants. Each one of us, judges and commissioners, have an assistant, and that is managing over 10,000 hearings a year on a 3-tab system. And without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So in my last paragraph in my report, in reflection of my first year as a department head, this is it was completely new to me. So in addition to the hearings I do, I also have to do all the budget and the administrative work, and that all comes before and after hours. So it's not taking away any of my court time, so I am giving everybody everything that I have. So we were able to identify some areas for review and improvement. We've made those improvements, and I have had in 2024 5 different counties call me to ask me for my forms and my procedures so they can improve their systems. That is a big, big thing for this county to be looked to as mentors. And then we also, in the Family Court Commissioners Association, Jefferson County hosted a biannual conference. I didn't realize conference planning took that much effort. So I'm going to give a shout out to my assistant, Nikki Sadowski, who really took over that for me and helped me do that. But everybody loved our county, so we pulled them in all the way from Superior all the way down to Kenosha and across the state. And that went really well. It was a 2-day event. Everyone loved our county, so had nothing but rave reviews about our county. So with that being said, any questions?
Questions?
Kind of give you suggestions, couple
Sure.
of suggestions, and you can, I use Google Translate, and I've read that there's actually the glasses now.
So when you are in the 4 walls of a courtroom, you have to use court-certified interpreters. Everybody at Windows and other agencies, even at the clerk's office, you can use the Google Translator, or there's even a phone line. But when you walk into the courtroom in those 4 walls and you're having a court hearing, you have to use court-certified interpreters. There are only Last count, I think they just certified 2 more in the state, and there are only 20 Spanish certified. And we have on any given day here 2 of those 20. So we are very lucky that we have interpreters close by, and I wish we could use those because sometimes if I have an interpreter gone, I have to use my phone to tell them their hearing's going to be rescheduled. But we can't use those for official court proceedings. So hopefully they're going to get more interpreters. They're looking at universities, but the test is incredibly hard. Incredibly hard. So there's a written test, which almost everybody passes, and then there's the oral test. So that would be like asking a heart surgeon to translate it into a different language. So they have to have that specialty to it with the legal part of it. So I think the oral part is very, very difficult. But we're working closely with Director of State Courts and the interpreter program to hopefully get some more people certified. Any other questions? And again, thank you all.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. Next is Child Support, Stacy Jensen.
Good evening. For those who are not familiar with our department, we're a team of 10 and a half. We share, the half is a corp counsel position, which we share with Corporation Counsel. We provide services to approximately 3,500 cases, and we provide financial services to approximately 600 cases per year. Services we provide are basically to establish child support and enforce those orders once they're established. We also provide services to establish paternity to make sure there's a father on every child's birth certificate. You have a copy of our annual report, so I won't go over that, but I'll just provide you some updates that are happening in our office. Our team continues to provide, we work in partnership with the state on a 10-year computer modernization project, and several members of our team are serving on work groups with the state, and we're assisting on this project. We're getting closer to the end. There's actually a pilot is now scheduled for 2027, and we'll continue to work in partnership with the state between now and then. Sorry for stumbling on my words on this. So we're looking for the end of that project. I've been working on this project a long time. This year, we did something new. We actually contracted with another county. We partnership with WAPACA to assist them in their caseload because a lot of the northern counties are really experiencing a staff shortage. So we contracted them, bringing an additional $18,000 revenue into our program to help the families and that county agency. And our staff actually found it very fulfilling to help the families in that county. Some of those counties' cases were a couple years behind just due to the tremendous staffing shortage that they've been dealing with up north because they can't find staff in some of those counties. So we really found that fulfilling to help another county agency and just partnership with that county to help them out. So that was something new that we did this year. We did that between February and we ended at the end of last month. So that was new for us. As you heard, our lead specialist of 35 years retired. That was a sad event for us. We replaced it internally with one of our actually newest workers. He's doing very well, and we have a couple other new workers. So basically, a lot of our time has been investing in training and professional development. We also have another bilingual staff person, as you heard from Commissioner Weber. We have a high LEP caseload now. So it's very beneficial to have the bilingual caseworkers in our office. We now have 2, so that's also new to our agency. So that's just a couple highlights of working this year. So if anybody's interested in learning more about our department, you're always welcome to stop down. We're just located down the hall. And as always, thank you for your continued support of our program. Any questions?
Questions for Stacy? Questions? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Takes us to our county treasurer, Kelly Stady.
Good evening, Jefferson County Board of Supervisors. My name is Kelly Staddy, and I'm proud to serve as your county treasurer. Just a few weeks ago, on June 19th, I celebrated 25 years with Jefferson County, though honestly, it seems like it hasn't been that long. They say, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life, and I definitely can relate to that. I'll keep this brief because I know the sheriff is excited to present his first annual report. Our treasurer's office may be small, but we are mighty. It's just the three of us, myself, Chief Deputy Kay, who is full-time, and our part-time assistant deputy, Jessica. We share a suite with the Register of Deeds, and together we keep things running smoothly. Now, beyond the collection of property taxes, our office takes care of county daily revenues, updating property assessments, assist with creating tax bills, the management of tax settlements 4 times a year for all the municipalities, school districts, and special districts. Sometimes we even often have a bit of informal financial counseling or just lending a listening ear. In fact, we had a taxpayer recently told us that they didn't fully understand the tax bill process, and that was something that we're always happy to explain. You should also have a handout summarizing last year's disbursements for our general and payroll accounts, including year-end bank balances and interest earning from our 2024 investments. A few investment highlights. Investment interest rose about $208,000 from 2023 to 2024. In 2023, we added that sweep account interest line before we had to wire the funds to the local government investment pool to get better returns. Now our sweep account even earns the competitive interest while keeping funds secure, bringing in over $150,000 in interest so far this year. Operational, we have also made some improvements. Positive Pay is now fully implemented. It provides fraud protection for checks and significantly cuts down the processing time. You also see a handout summarizing tax collections. The Treasurer's Office assumes tax collection duties in February, except for the City of Watertown, in which that transitions after August 15th. Last year, we took over about $195,000 in unpaid taxes and special assessments from the city. Let's talk trends. Compared to last year, uncollected taxes are up by 1.33%, while general property taxes is also by 1.31%, so basically almost washes. On June 17th, we mailed out 5,700 postcards or 7,200 tax parcels to remind taxpayers that the second installment is due by July 31st. Those reminders help increase revenues, reduce long lines, and yes, they definitely increase the phone calls for taxpayers with questions. They still can't find us. Looking ahead, over the next 15 days, we expect to collect nearly $19 million in unpaid taxes. Roughly $2 million of that we will be carried forward as delinquent for 2024. Now, for those who like numbers like I do, as of June 30th, delinquent property taxes, not including the 2024 total, is $703,452.11. That's a decrease of about $290,585.66 from last year at this time. This is the lowest delinquent balance ever recorded in Jefferson County for the June. I double-checked that this wasn't a result of a property judgment from 2024, and it wasn't. So people might think that it's because of the new treasurer. Just kidding. In truth, this is a team effort from our Corp Council to the Finance Committee and especially my dedicated office staff. We all play a part. And most importantly, it reflects the financial responsibility and commitment of the people of Jefferson County. This shows that Jefferson County continues to be a place where people can explore, thrive, and belong. Finally, I'm excited to start working with the Jefferson County Financial Empowerment Center. The new program is offering a professional, client-focused financial counseling, and I think it could be a great resource for taxpayers on the foreclosure list. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Ms. Dottie? Any questions? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
And last but not least, Sheriff Travis Mays.
Well, thank you all for the opportunity to present our annual report to you this evening. a year ago, I was introduced at the July meeting as the new sheriff for Jefferson County, and I was at Lights and Sirens that day, and I came in late. And Supervisor Jekyll asked me if I was going to be late today, and I said, absolutely not, sir, but I'm still going to go to Lights and Sirens. So I did make it up there today, but I'm here on time for you. So what a year for us. And I know this is different for you because you got a different guy standing in front of you giving the annual report, and we had Sheriff Milbrath do it for 23 years. So I knew that I was never going to be able to fill those shoes that he left behind. I call him up once or twice a month. I stop by his house at least once a month to talk with him and to pick his brain and to try to learn some of his missteps that he made in the position and some of the things that he did right so I can constantly learn from it. One thing I'll tell you is that without the support of the county board, we wouldn't be in the position that we're in right now. So we brought 6 or 7 different resolutions to you, I believe, over the past year, and I really appreciate the support from all of the chairmen from the committees that we went to, and from all you supervisors as well. We have 135 staff at the office, so we are, I think, the second largest office / department within the county, and we can't do it alone. So again, thank you very much for that. What I can tell you is that we did make some changes with some of the policies that we had, our civil service and our hiring process too. So in August, when I took over, we were down 25 deputies. I'm proud to let you know right now that we're only down 7. We've had some individuals retire, we've had some individuals leave, but we're constantly hiring people. So we have testing that's going on the 9th and the 10th of this week. And I look forward to hopefully having all of our positions filled by October if everything goes right. So, but that is, that's not me. That's our staff that are conducting the tests, that are doing the interviews, that are out there with the recruitment and retention to try to keep the individuals that we have here. So I greatly appreciate that. The good news that I can tell you is that the construction project is over and done with. So that was 2.5 years of operating a jail in a construction zone. So if you haven't been down to the jail, I welcome you to come make an appointment with me. We'll walk you through it, and you can take a look at what a jail environment is like. And then think about having 10 to 15 construction crew working in that environment, trying to keep all the weapons away from the inmates because the inmates don't want to be there, and trying to make sure that your staff is protected. So it was very trying for them. I appreciate everything that they did for us by continuing to keep that jail open so that we didn't have to ship our inmates out someplace else. Now, that being said, as soon as the inspector said that we were good to go with the jail and we passed all the inspections and all the different things that popped up, we started to take on state inmates again. So we are looking at contracting with the state to continue to get state inmates in. They're still working on the monetary value for that. Right now it's $60. They were going to try to get it to $80 in the recent bill that was signed at the state level. It didn't pass at that point, but I've been told that there's going to be other bills that they might bring up to specifically talk about that. So one thing I want to make sure that I point out is that there's other agencies within the county that have helped us out tremendously. So Human Services, the Mark over at Finance, the administrator, Danielle, quite a bit. I've had conversations with her. My job is to make sure that the citizens of Jefferson County don't have to pay monetary damages for something that the sheriff's office does. So that is really strong belief that I have. Sheriff Milbrath told me all the time about a liability. Always remember about liability. So if anything comes up, you might get some correspondence from me. What I'm always trying to do is to make sure that we're doing things the right way and the legal way to do it. So from that standpoint, I don't have anything else really specific to give you. I've got 47 pages of the annual report, and I don't know if that's what you guys have gotten before in the past or not, but there's a lot of information in there, and I can answer any questions that you might have.
Questions for Sheriff Mays? Supervisor Gross.
Yeah, I don't have a question, but a thank you for every time I call in. It takes about 15 seconds less now.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Other questions? Seeing none, thank you. Thank you, Sheriff Mays. And congratulations on your 1-year anniversary. Takes us to committee reports, resolutions, and ordinances. Item 10, Executive Committee. Resolution authorizing temporary closure of the Jefferson County Courthouse to the public on November 19th, 2025, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon for emergency response training. Mr. Winnicky.
Resolution number 2025
33.
33, thank you. Executive summary, Jefferson County is committed to having a workforce that is trained to respond to emergencies we may face, whether they are medical emergencies, natural disasters, or man-made threats. Regular training and emergency response in active threat scenarios is necessary to ensure that county employees are equipped to respond effectively in the event of an emergency. To that end, Jefferson County employees recently participated in active threat training using the Run, Hide, Fight protocol, and this September, employees will also participate in Stop the Bleed training to educate employees on how to recognize and respond to life-threatening emergencies until professional help arrives. Jefferson County has scheduled further training which will include simulation drills on November 19th, 2025, to facilitate full participation in this important training and to ensure the safety of all individuals on site during the exercise. It is necessary to close the courthouse building to the public during the training exercises. Pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 59.20, Parent 3, the county board can authorize exceptions to the standard business hours of county offices. This resolution authorizes the closure of Jefferson County Courthouse Building on November 19th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. for emergency response training for employees. The Executive Committee considered this resolution at its meeting on June 25th, 2025, and recommended forwarding to the County Board for approval. Fiscal note, passage of this resolution has no determinable fiscal impact. Mr. Chair, I move approval.
Moved by Supervisor Winnicky, second by Supervisor Christensen. Questions, discussion? And we did discuss this at the Executive Committee. We also suggested that county board supervisors could certainly participate in the training as well. But we'll let you know how this all pans out when we get there. Supervisor Morris. Oh, saw you reaching for your mic. Okay. No questions? Who was the second? Second was Mr. Christensen. Okay. So all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, the resolution passes. Go on to the Finance Committee. George, you got a lot of reading tonight. If you want to designate somebody else on a Finance Committee to read this one, that's fine, because you've got highway to go and zoning to go yet. So if you so desire, you can do that.
Dave, how do you feel about it tonight?
Again? Killing me.
I understand you had to do it over Zoom last time, huh?
It was Zoom, it was here.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the one that Mr. Lucky just passed out to everybody, so it wasn't in your packet. So anyway, it's resolution delegating authority to enter into settlement agreements with the opioid defendants to the county administrator.
Resolution 2025-34. Okay. Executive summary. On October 10th, 2017, the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors authorized the county administrator to execute an engagement agreement with Von Briesen and Roper SC, Kruger, Dickinson LLC, and Simonson Hanley Conroy LLC law firms via Resolution 2017-39 to pursue litigation against manufacturers, distributors, and retailers, among others, of opioid pharmaceuticals. This resolution authorizes the county to perform all actions required to advance the claims against those entities responsible for the opioid epidemic. Litigation was subsequently filed on behalf of Jefferson County and consolidated with the claims of other counties in the Northern District of Ohio. Jefferson County was recently notified of a proposed settlement with Sandoz, Inc., an opioid manufacturer and one of the defendants in MDL 2804. In the notice advising the county of the proposed settlement, each county was asked to execute a participation agreement signifying acceptance of the terms by July 24, 2025. The Sandoz settlement appears to be the first in a line of anticipated settlements with additional defendants, including Purdue Pharma. Rather than proceeding with individual resolutions for each settlement, the outside counsel has recommended each participating county agency delegate a settlement authority to to specific county officer or officers if certain conditions are met in an effort to efficiently resolve these claims. Specifically, the delegation would be effective if, one, the settlement is recommended by the plaintiff's executive committee in the MDL 2804, upon which representatives Jefferson County Council sit, and two, the county share of the proceeds would be calculated according to the same methodology of previous settlements. This resolution authorized the county administrator to enter into settlement agreements with the opioid defendants based on the recommendations of council without necessity of board action on each individual state settlement. The Finance Committee considered this resolution at its meeting on July 7th, 2025, and recommended forwarding it to the county board for approval. Fiscal note, the amount of additional settlements referenced in the body of this resolution is not currently known. Once the settlements are executed and Jefferson County is informed of the payment arrangements, a resolution will be prepared that summarizes the proposed use of the funding and related budget adjustments. Mr. Chair, I request the adoption of Resolution 2025-34.
Second. Moved by Mr. Drainus, second by Mr. Jekyll. Questions? Discussion? I know this has been dragging on a long time. Hopefully we'll reach some resolution here.
I can do that.
With that,
Dick probably won't be here.
that all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the resolution passes. Takes us to Highway Committee, resolution authorizing the purchase of a 50-ton gooseneck trailer for the Highway Department. Mr. Jekyll.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Resolution number 2025-35. Jefferson County Highway Department is requesting approval to purchase a new 50-ton trailer to replace the department's existing trailer, which has reached the end of its service life. The current trailer presents ongoing safety concerns, particularly with the process of mounting and unmounting it from the semi-tractor, and no longer meets the operational needs of the department. The replacement trailer will enhance the department's ability to safely and efficiently transport heavy equipment required for road construction and maintenance projects across the county. This purchase aligns with the county's strategic goals of maintaining a safe and effective transportation infrastructure while ensuring the safety of county staff and the public. The procurement of the trailer followed the county's purchasing ordinance and competitive quote process to ensure fiscal responsibility. Approval of this resolution supports continued investment in reliable, modern equipment necessary for high-quality public service delivery. This resolution was considered and recommended for approval by the Highway Committee on its meeting on June 24, 2025. Down below, you'll see the list of the competitive bidders and see the price there. Fiscal note, passing this resolution will cost $119,520, which will be funded from the Highway Department Cooperations Cost Center 53241. Mr. Chairman, I move for adoption of this resolution.
Moved by Mr. Jekyll, second by Mr. Backlund. Questions? Discussion?
Yeah, I have a few
Mr.
questions.
Gross.
Yes, did you check into some used ones or no? Huh?
You don't find a good used one like that without paying per what we paid for brand new. I can testify to that.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Oppose.
One opposed. The resolution passes. Takes us to item 13. Human Resources Committee, resolution authorizing elimination of the assistant to the county administrator position and creating a communications and marketing coordinator position in the county administration office and amending the 2025 budget. Mr. Brogler.
Resolution number 2025-36, authorizing the elimination of the assistant to the county administrator position and creating a communication and marketing coordinator position in the county administration office and amending the 2025 budget. The county administrator has reviewed internal staffing needs and recommends transitioning the assistant to the county administrator position to a communication and marketing coordinator position within the administration department. This change reflects a shift in focus from general administrative and intergovernmental support to specialized strategic communication and public engagement. This position would also support countywide tourism efforts, which is called for throughout the county's strategic plan. Local organizations, typically chambers of commerce, provide tourism services for each municipality, but recently years have demonstrated that administrative staff time from the county is necessary to coordinate tourism campaigns to succeed. The new position will lead efforts in brand development, media relations, digital outreach, and community visibility across all departments. The reallocation of duty aligns with the administrator's goal to modernize and professionalize the county's internal and external communications. This change does not result in additional staff, as it eliminates one position and creates another in its place. In addition, the assistant to the county administrator position was budgeted in 2025 for an annual salary and benefits amount greater than what is anticipated for the communication and marketing coordinator position. This resolution has been reviewed and approved by the Human Resource Committee on June 7, 2025, the Executive Committee on June 25, 2025, and the Finance Committee on July 7, 2025. All three committees recommended forwarding it to the County Board for consideration and approval. Fiscal note, the 2025 budget includes $128,676.77 for salaries and benefits for the assistant to the county administrator position. The proposed communication and marketing coordinator position is anticipated to cost $107,285.11 annually for salary and benefits for 2025. This change would result in a tax levy savings of $21,418.66 for 2025, assuming the position was filled all year. This is a budget amendment. The county board approval requires a 2/3 vote of the entire membership of the county board, 20 votes of the 30-member county board. I move for passage.
Moved by Ms. Brogler, second by Mr. Lund. Questions, discussion? Mr. Brogler.
Okay, Jefferson County has had a long history of working well together with the interests of our county people. And we all trust our committees, and I still do, but I do need to recognize that I voted against this in committee. So now I'm asking for the county board to not approve this position. I'm hoping at least one of these arguments will help you understand what's happening. First of all, we worked too hard and too long to create an assistant to the county administrator position. To replace it with a marketing and a communications specialist just seems antithetical in what should happen. It also gives us a cloudy line of who's in charge should we not have an administrator. I know historically the county corp council has had that position, but I don't believe we have that written into statutes anywhere. Second point, current status, we are doing well with communications. The central office, the economic development, and many others are doing a wonderful job on social media and keeping our word out. We are currently hiring an agency. I do realize that they only give us 40 hours a month compared to 40 hours a week. And so I realize that is a major difference. But I think we're doing well with the agents that we have. Jefferson County has a good, strong position, and some of those people are doing wonderful jobs. Third, financially, I realize it looks like we're saving money, but as we look to the future, we're having one of the toughest budgets I've ever seen since I've been on the county board. The last 4 or 5 years, we've been wonderfully blessed to be able to lower the tax levy and all of the things involved. And they told us this was coming. We knew that. There's a potential with all of the things on our wish list and our capital projects and the list goes on that we might have $1 to $2 million in a deficit, something we're going to have to work hard to figure out. We've got plenty of empty spots that have been empty for a long time that they have not been able to fill for various reasons, but I don't see that we need to eliminate one that's valuable, create another new one at this point. There's the potential for a hiring freeze. All of these things make me think this is not a good position. I know it looks strange as chairman of HR to come up against this, but I'm also trying to remain consistent. I voted against it initially because we didn't have a job description. I very quickly was given one. I'm thankful for that. But I just think at the very least, from the top down, we need to set a good example of saying, okay, tough times are ahead. We should not be hiring this position. I don't see a problem with it in the future. I just think the timing is ill-appropriate. So with that, I encourage you to vote this resolution down.
Other questions, discussion? Mr. Backlund.
I guess I don't know the background. So what precipitated this change and why we don't need an assistant administrator anymore?
Would you care to address that, Mr. Lucky, as you did for the executive committee?
Sure. So on my hiring panel, throughout my interview process, I was asked what my plan would be for hiring my old position. And I said I would take a look at ways to complement the strengths I have, not necessarily duplicate them. Right now, I think we have our foot on the gas when it comes to marketing Jefferson County as a place to live, work, and do business. We want to follow the strategic plan that all over the highly regarded quality of life piece calls for enhanced tourism resources, enhanced marketing of the county, working on branding initiatives, selling this again as a place for many different reasons, including recreation, places to live, things like that. And as I sit in those meetings and I look around kind of our nerve center at the end of the hall with Finance, Corporation Counsel, and Human Resources, I see a great need for this from the county. I also hope that over decades to come, the county board continues to trust my work here. And so I don't necessarily feel a timing where I need to train someone to do my job. I spend a lot of time working with our communications consultant, working on things like that. And if I had some help in that, I feel like I could focus my time elsewhere. So I conducted, an internal review of our county's needs. I tried to best align it with the strategic plan. And I think a lot of what was in my job description as assistant to the county administrator was some enhanced communications and marketing. I think it would be easier to find someone who has those strengths and teach them policy and some of the other things that might be needed than would be to find someone like me and teach them how to do strategic communications. I also just am not sure, as we look into the next budget, our consultant was funded with ARPA dollars. That was prepaid contract that is expiring. And so we'll need to find money if we're going to continue that. And if not, then then it would be back to, again, someone hired potentially for the already authorized assistant to the county administrator position, which I think I would find a better talent pool if it were marketed elsewhere. So those are all the reasons why I was proposing this.
Other questions? I think Mr. Zarling had his hand up. Carl?
Yes, I sure did, Mr. Chair. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I, with all respect to Supervisor Brogler, I'm on the HR committee and also finance, and I strongly support this position. I think that it very much aligns with our many goals in the county moving forward. I think this is an inevitability to have somebody in this role. I absolutely trust Mr. Lucky with his evaluation and assessment of what he could use to assist him. I feel like, the past doesn't equal the future. This is something that's, our many strategic goals. Absolutely, this will be a very useful position. The timing is great in that it will overlap the existing firm in place that we're contracting with to allow them to have a good pass off of information, good learning curve through the end of the year. And strongly support it. I think, again, this is an inevitable step and one that will help all departments of the county.
Other questions, discussions? Mr. Morris?
Just one caution. Sometimes the wordsmiths end up making policy, and we can't let that happen. I'm all for strategic communications, but sometimes I've noted that strategic communicators on social media and other ways end up coming up with grandiose ideas and paint it as this is crucial. We're not going to go forward without it. And I would venture to say about 9 times out of 10, that's just not so. So the guy at the top runs the policy mill, not the person writing words down and putting pictures out. So that's the caution that I think would be important to remember. The wordsmiths don't make policy. And I don't think the media director should have undue policy influence that someone else doesn't have as well. Okay?
I think Supervisor Risto.
I've had the opportunity to work with 4 of the 6 county administrators in the history of this county. Not the first one and not the last one yet. But in any event, the Corporation Council's job pretty routinely filled that bill. And Mr. Brogler, there are some policy statements here and there that authorize the Corp Council to fill in on an as-needed basis in the absence of the administrator in emergency situations. From my perspective, having done what I did, I think that it's really worthwhile to consider the needs that the administrator expresses here. He's the one who has to run the show, and he's the one who knows best what he needs in that regard. And so I would strongly support this. I think you can evaluate it in a year or two and see how it looks. And Mr. Morris's comment, I think he's right. But the man at the top will get the blowback if what you're worried about happens. So I support this. Thank you.
Other questions or discussion? Supervisor Winnicke.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to parrot a lot of what Supervisor Risto said. I was actually on the interview panel that interviewed Mr. Lucky and assisted his predecessor in choosing him for that job. And I remember very distinctly Mr. Waymeyer was saying he would know how to utilize the assistant to the county administrator once he had one in place and recognized their strength and recognized maybe their deficits. And I think that's exactly what our administrator's attempting to do now, is to look at his strengths, his weak areas, the areas he thinks he can handle, the areas he thinks he should pass off, and is changing that ahead of time. And I support that, because that's what we're really hiring him to do, is to make that direction. So thank you, and I'll support it.
Thank you, Mr. Winnicke. Other questions, discussions? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote. Please vote on your tablets.
Supervisor Richardson?
Aye.
Supervisor Herbst? I believe you're muted. Supervisor Morris?
Aye.
Supervisor Golson?
Aye.
Supervisor Herbst?
Aye.
Votes are locked. We have 21 yes, 5 no, and 4 absent.
The resolution passes. Takes us to planning and item 14, Planning and Zoning Committee report. Mr. Jekyll.
Mr. Chairman, with due respect, I was informed we have to do the ordinance because that would determine the report being changed differently.
I had
Or
down
no.
items B and C are switched around. A we can do, as far as I know.
Is that what you figured out, Danielle?
You can do
Report
the
first?
report if you
Okay.
wish.
Okay, then we will
just have
change the other two around. Okay, just want to make sure we were following the right order of the process. Report to the honorable members of the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors. Jefferson County Planning and Zoning Committee, having considered petitions to amend the zoning map of Jefferson County, filed for public hearing held on May 15th, 2025 and June 19th, 2025 as required by law pursuant to Wisconsin statutes. Notice thereof having been given and being duly advised of the wishes of the town boards and the persons in the areas affected, hereby makes the following recommendations. The committee has reviewed and considered the facts presented in the application and received in public hearing and finds the criteria listed in Wisconsin Statute 91.48 and Jefferson County Zoning Ordinance Section 2256B has been met for the listed petitions. The committee further finds that the petitions are consistent with Jefferson County Comprehensive Plan and Farm Use Preservation Plan. Further support for the committee's recommendations can be found in staff reports and individual petition files on records in the Planning and Zoning Development Office. Approval of petitions as listed, dated this 8th day of July 2025, Blaine Paulson, Secretary. Excuse me. Moving on to ordinance number.
It'll be item C.
Okay.
Ordinance amending the Jefferson County Comprehensive Plan.
Right. That would be ordinance number 5, correct? Sorry. Amending the Jefferson County Comprehensive Plan and Agricultural Preservation Land Use Plan. Whereas Jefferson County Planning and Zoning Committee requests that the Comprehensive Plan and Agricultural Preservation and Land Use Plan be amended, and whereas a amendment updates and the farmland preservation maps for the town of Ixonia figures 2 and 10 are shown on the Planning and Zoning Committee resolution incorporated by reference herein. Whereas the County Board adopted public participation plan on May 13th, 2025 to guide process of amending plans, and where a duly noticed public hearing for the Planning and Zoning Committee was held on June 19th, 2025, and a public hearing of the County Board was held on July 8th, 2025, whereas the Planning and Zoning Committee recommended adoption of this map and amendments to the comprehensive plan on the agricultural preservation and land use plan on June 30th, 2025 by the attached resolution. Now therefore be it ordained that pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 66.1001 and Chapter 91, Jefferson County Comprehensive Plan and Jefferson County Agricultural Preservation and Land Use Plan is hereby amended and based on the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Committee as set forth in the attached resolution incorporated by reference. Fiscal note, this passage of this ordinance has no determinable fiscal impact. Mr. Chair, I move for adoption of this ordinance.
Moved by Mr. Jekyll. Do I have a second? Moved by Mr. Falker. Second by Mr. Falker. Questions? Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the ordinance passes. Takes us to item B, ordinance amending official zoning map. That's on page 14.
Mr. Chair, I present the ordinance number 2025-6. Whereas Jefferson County Board of Supervisors has heretofore been petitioned to amend the official zoning map of Jefferson County, and whereas petitions as listed were referred to Jefferson County Planning and Zoning Committee for public hearing on May 15th and June 19th, 2025, whereas at its meeting on June 30th, Planning and Zoning Committee considered the request to amend the official zoning map of Jefferson County after conducting a public hearing regarding the requested amendment and after receiving a recommendation from the affected town, hereby makes the following recommendations to the Board of Supervisors in open session. Whereas the Planning and Zoning Committee has found that the criteria and standards set forth in Section 91.48 of the Wisconsin statutes and Section 2256 B of Jefferson County zoning ordinance for rezoning out of A1 exclusive agricultural zone and have been met in the petitions and are consistent with the Jefferson County Comprehensive Plan and Farmland Preservation Plan as identified in the decision of the Planning and Zoning Committee. And whereas consistent with the recommendations of the Planning and Zoning Committee, the Board of Supervisors finds where applicable the standards set forth in 91.48 Jefferson, Wisconsin statutes and Section 2256 of Jefferson County zoning ordinance for zoning out of A1 exclusive agricultural zone are met by the proposed amendment to the official map. Therefore, be it ordained, Jefferson County Board of Supervisors does amend the official zoning map of Jefferson County as follows, and they are all listed here. You will see on the third page, actually, the pin numbers that are crossed out, and on the back map, you'll see a difference on the, I would say, lower center right. There was 3 parcels that were technically taken out. That's what the cross outlines are because of opposition from one of the landowners for rezoning it. Mr. Chair, I move for adoption of this ordinance.
Moved by Mr. Jaco, second by Mr. Backman. Questions? Mr. Christensen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was just wondering about regarding this ordinance and the previous one that talks about the public participation opportunities. I'm just wondering how much public participation did you have? Was there significant or very little? How would you characterize that?
Very little. I do not particularly know what they had in the township of Oakland, Ixonia, but we had it at our public hearing. And George, do you remember, was there?
There was nobody, and actually, staff had said there was no letters. There was only a couple of inquiries to the staff, if I recall right. Mm-hmm. And at that time, there was no opposition.
So that was at when the zoning committee had it. Then we had it again tonight, and there was no opposition.
Thank you.
Mr. Gross.
Yes, I've had a number of constituents that were opposing, this A1 to AT in Ixonia. I thought maybe they'd show up tonight, but they did not. So I'm just representing them.
And as you understand, this is by request of the township of Ixonia. Mr. Degner.
Mr. Chairman, the Town of Ixonia Comprehensive Planning Committee met for well over a year on this, deciding on which areas would be in this comprehensive plan. And this is what they've come up with, and there's been very little opposition at the meetings, at any of the town meetings for this.
Other questions, discussion?
My question is, what are they planning for, like XL, decel lanes? There's really no plan, correct?
Mr. Degner, can you answer that?
This planning is strictly, this land will become available, and the developers of it will have to come up with their plan as far as it fits into the town's plan as far as their streets and access to the highways and everything. What this is doing is trying to keep the buildable areas in and around the village so that the farmland can be maintained and we don't have a lot of sporadic building in the farmland areas.
And keeping it in your new sewer district.
And keeping it in the sewer district and the TID district that they've formed for this.
If there's any specific development comes up, that's where acceleration, deceleration lanes, turn lanes, culverts, you name it, that's when that comes up.
But, you know, a lot of the traffic will still be going down what we call County Trunk F now. And that nothing's really been changed on that as far as the interstate interchange. You know, it's was developed over 60 years ago and it hasn't changed. But the traffic has increased probably by 5 to 6 times.
Although this ordinance has nothing to do with that.
But it will affect it.
Other questions, discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Oppose.
Okay, takes us then to the next resolution. Does not require any work by the county board. That's for your information. That was passed by the zoning committee and passing it on to you, which you've already dealt with. So, takes us to the last ordinance, item E, ordinance amending the Jefferson County floodplain ordinance. Mr. Jekyll.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ordinance number 2025-7, amending Jefferson County floodplain ordinance. The Planning and Zoning Committee reviewed the Jefferson County floodplain ordinance and determined the 2015 ordinance should be updated to reflect the most recent DNR model ordinance. The floodplain ordinance was last updated in February 2015 and was based on previous versions of the DNR model ordinance, which has since been updated by the DNR. Updates to the model ordinance include additional definitions, expanding terminology, descriptions, and clarifications. The bulk of the substantive changes pertain to regulating campgrounds in the floodplain. A Class 2 notice public hearing was held on the proposed amendment on June 19, 2025, and Planning and Zoning Committee reviewed the proposed ordinance on May 27th and June 30th, 2025, and the recommendation forwarding this ordinance to the County Board of Supervisors is to repeal and recreate Jefferson County floodplain ordinance as set forth in the attached fiscal note. Passage of this ordinance has no determinable fiscal impact. Mr. Chairman, I move for adoption of this ordinance.
Moved by Supervisor Jekyll. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Backlund. Questions, discussion on floodplain ordinance? Mr. Morris.
Were any campgrounds at the public hearing?
I can answer that. No, there wasn't.
Any other questions, discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, the ordinance passes. Takes us to item 15, appointments by the county administrator. Item A, Gene Heslip as highway commissioner for a 2-year term ending July 8th, 2027.
By virtue of the authority vested in me under sections 59.182B of the Wisconsin statutes, I respectfully request confirmation of the following appointment. Sean Heaslip as Highway Commissioner for a 2-year term ending July 8th, 2027.
Move to confirm.
Move to confirm by Mr. Jekyll. Do I have a second? Supervisor Backlund. Well, everybody's, a lot of hands went up. Okay. Questions, discussions? All in favor of this appointment, say aye.
I got a question.
Well, okay, question. Go ahead.
Is the new commissioner gonna still keep my fellow employees trim and brush like I did 50 years ago?
I have no idea. You can ask the chairman of the committee.
It's gonna be done as productively as we can make it work.
Okay, so you're gonna continue doing it like I did 50 years ago. All right, thank you.
And did we vote on that already? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Oppose.
And the second appointment is Tracy Hamow to the Traffic Safety Commission, to the Traffic Safety Commission Coordinator for an intermediate term.
By virtue of the authority vested in me under sections 59.182C of the Wisconsin statutes, I respectfully request confirmation of the following appointments. Tracy Hamow to the Traffic Safety Commission for an indeterminate term.
Second.
So moved by Mr. Brogler, second by Mr. Christensen. Questions, discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Seeing none, the appointment is made. We have public comment of a general nature. Any public comment of a general nature? Seeing none, announcements? Anybody want to mention fair dates here?
Got it written down. And I'm sure Supervisor Christensen, I saw him jumping up to remind everyone that Brew with a View from June was postponed to, it's actually going to be this Thursday, July 10th. So for those of you that are going to be in the Lake Mills area Thursday night, make sure to stop by Brew with a View. Fair is also going to be going on. It begins tomorrow. And I saw Supervisor Backlund as Vice Chair of the Fair Park Committee also jumping up, so I stole his thunder. But it starts tomorrow and Sunday. It's looking like it's going to be a really great time. Please stop by there and offer your support. I also wanted to just preview a couple things. I will be on the Wisconsin Counties Association podcast. We recorded that last week. I think it should be coming out this week. So if any of you are interested in listening to some local government discussion, I will send that around. And coming up in September, just mark your calendars for our budget meetings. I'll probably do reminders every month up until then. For those of you that sit on the Finance Committee, and especially those of you that have not but want to learn more about what every department does, Monday, September 15th through Thursday, September 18th are when departments present their budgets to the Finance Committee. I think it's a very, very valuable learning lesson for anyone who's on the board. Please try and attend those if you can. Also coming up in September is the annual conference for the Wisconsin Counties Association, which Supervisor Brawler has gotten us to be co-host for this year, and which will be the first time it's ever been co-hosted. And we have an opportunity to show Jefferson County off in some really exciting ways that he's working on. If any of you would like to learn more about that, please contact him. He is planning all of that.
Okay, Supervisor Christensen.
We may have some other uses for your mind reading ability.
Any other announcements? Entertain a motion for adjournment. So moved by Supervisor Gulig. Second, I saw Meg's hand up second. Meg Turville Heights second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
Come on, I'll be there.